All right, 9-2, multiplying polynomials by a monomial. Here's example 1. Simplify. Negative 2x times 4x squared plus 3x minus 5. That's all you have to do. We're not solving for anything. We're just simplifying. So we're going to distribute the negative 2x to the 4x squared. What's negative 2 times 4? Negative 8. I like that. Now question, what is x times x squared? Do we know? Well, let's find out. If we had just an x, and then we multiplied it by x squared is the same as x times x, correct? So how many do we have total? So really what we're doing is adding the exponent. So negative 2 times 4 is negative 8. X times x squared is x cubed. Negative 2x times 3x is negative 6x squared. Negative 2x times negative 5 is positive 10x. That's it. You're just simplifying it. That's it. All right, let's try another one. Does it get any harder?
Yeah,
just a little bit, not too bad. Nothing that's too strenuous. 3n times 6n cubed minus 4n minus 2, or subtract 2, however you want to look at it, times the quantity 9n to the 4th minus 11. So 3n times the quantity 6n cubed minus 4n minus 2 times 9n fourth minus 11. I'm sorry?
You distribute to each problem.
Yeah, well, I'll show you. Give me 30 seconds and I'll show you. All right, let's continue on. So yes, we're going to distribute the 3n to the 6n cubed. 3 times 6 is 18. N to the 1 times n to the 3 is n to the 4. 3n times negative 4n is n. How many n's? 2. So now we do the same thing with the negative 2. Negative 2 times 9n to the 4th, n to the 4th, and negative 2 times negative 11 is 2 negatives equal a positive 22. Are there any like terms that combine? All right, so 18n to the 4th minus 18n to the 4th is 0, so they go away. All right, negative 12n squared plus 22, are those like terms? Nope, so just write them.
I need your head up, please. Thank you. Yes.
All right, try this one on your own, and then check with your neighbor. This is why it's called a check, because you're going to check and make sure your neighbor has the correct answer. Negative 3x times 5x to the 5th minus 3x squared plus 7. All right, you guys are really smart. I don't think that's challenging enough for you. So let's try and find another one that might be a little bit more challenging after we go over this one. Do we need more time, or do you have an answer? All right, so negative 3x times 15x to the fifth is negative 15x to the sixth. Negative 3x times negative 3x squared is positive 9x cubed. Negative 3x times 7 is negative 21x. Like I said, that's not challenging enough, so let's try and find a more challenging one. 2n squared times 5n cubed plus 6, negative 5n times 3n to the fourth plus 3n squared. Also, you were supposed to have a IXL assignment, but I decided not to. I'm going to cancel it and bring in a paper tomorrow. So don't worry. If you see the IXL assignment, don't do it. It's not extra credit or anything. Just we'll have an assignment tomorrow. And that's all we're doing tomorrow. I know, I agree. All right, do we need more time? We good? Yes. Yes. Corey, you good?
Mr. Kidder, can you go back up to example 3?
Yep. Well, you mean the check? That one?
Oh,
Because we're only on example. We've only done example 2.
alright, check.
All right, about 30 more seconds and we're going to try it. All right, Landon, are you almost done with the first one?
Yeah.
All right, Landon, help me with the second one.
Alright.
2n squared times 5n cubed is,
10 and 4?
well, there's 3 here plus 2 here, so there's 5. 2n squared plus times 6 is,
12 and 12 and squared.
perfect. Negative 5n times 3n to the fourth.
Negative 15 and 5. Yep.
And then minus
And then
negative
15
and to the third power.
All right, is that in standard form? No. What's my largest exponent? Can we combine this one and this one?
Yeah.
Yes, so what's 10n to the fifth minus 15n to the fifth?
Negative 5, negative 6, and 3.
Perfect, you are exactly correct. What's the next largest exponent?
2 or 3?
3 is bigger than 2, right? So I would go with negative 15
Just bring it down.
and cubed. Yep, there's nothing to combine it with, right?
And then also bring down the other one.
You are done. All right, the book had a nice long word problem for us. Word problems are an easy way to pass the EOC because most kids who don't pass the EOC say it's a word problem, I don't do word problems. So what I did is I took this word problem and I pulled out the important stuff. So all I did is write the most important information. A building. This is 3. A building, and I wrote that very sloppy, I apologize, in a shape of a trapezoid. Does everyone know what a trapezoid looks like?
Yeah.
Usually trapezoids look something like this. That's called a regular trapezoid. Oops, you can't see it. Hold on. There we go. A building in a shape of a trapezoid has a height of h. And 2 bases have lengths of h plus 90 and 2h plus 84. Thank you. Write an equation to represent the area. So we're not actually solving, we're just writing an equation to, I don't know, let me zoom out, maybe that would help a little bit. Because that's all that's on there. Hold on, I have an idea. I like when I have ideas that actually work. Does anyone know the formula for area of a trapezoid? Base 1 plus base 2, I like that. What else? It's a 3, so it has 2 bases, what else does it have?
2 lengths.
Nope, I'm looking for a specific word. Height, thank you. And it's actually half the height. 1/2 h times b1 plus b2. Yes. So we're just bringing down the 1/2. Does it tell us what the h is in the problem? It just says it's h, so let's leave it as h. What is b1? H plus 90 plus b2. What's b2? 2h plus 84.
Oh, wow.
So now, before we do anything else, can I combine like terms over here? Yes.
H and 2H?
1h plus 2h is 3h. 90 plus 84?
174.
174, because 0 plus 4 is 4, 9 plus 18 is 7. We have 1 step left, and what's that? Not divide, but distribute.
I said it first.
Congratulations, you win absolutely nothing. All right. 1/2 times 3 over 1 is 3/2. So 3/2 h. What's half of 174? Yeah, so what, you're right. H times h is h squared. Thank you, Stormy. Is 87, and then h, that's your final answer. That wasn't super difficult, was it? No. But the problem is most students who fail the EOC say it's a word problem, it must be hard, and they don't even try. That was not that hard. Yeah, that's the hardest part. Usually setting it up is the hardest part and solving it's the easy part. All right, we're almost done. We have one more example, two checks, and then we're done.
What?
One example is two check.
Two examples, two checks, I'm sorry. So we have what, 20 minutes left in class? So we should be done early. Keyword is should. And then tomorrow's an assignment day.
You are recording today.
I am recording, yes.
You posted on Canvas?
No, because I didn't have the right, the guy is coming back in about 10 minutes to fix this, because it's still not exactly right. If you notice, I write and then it goes up on there. It's not simultaneous. There's a time delay. I'm not a big fan of that. All right, example 4.
It's like slow.
So there you go. It's just writing example 4 now. I move the paper and then it moves.
Yeah, it's not.
And since it's recording, I can't say mean stuff like it reminds me of some of my students. Little slow, so. Not you guys, obviously. You guys are all in advanced class.
Right.
All right, example 4. Solve the equation. Negative 16p equals negative 2, p plus 3 plus 3 times 6p minus 30. What should we do first? Distribute is an amazing answer. All right, so the negative 16p is just sitting there doing nothing, so I'm just going to bring it down. Nothing's affecting it. All right, negative 2 times p is
Negative 2b.
negative 2 times 3. Keep going. 3 times 6p is 18p. 3 times negative 30. Negative 3 times 3?
90.
90. Negative 90 is correct. All right, do we have any like terms we can combine before we do anything with the 16p? Let's combine like terms on the one side before we do the other.
Negative 2.
All right, so negative 2p plus 18p is? I like that. Negative 6 minus 90. Remember, if I borrow $6 and I borrow 90 more, I borrowed how much total? Negative 96. All right, personally, I would move this one over to the other side. So how do I move a positive 16p to the other side?
Subtract.
Perfect. Well, it's already adding, so I have to subtract it. So negative 16, if I borrowed 16p and borrowed another 16p, how much have I borrowed? 32p equals negative 96. The negative 32 is multiplying, so to get rid of it, does anyone know what negative 96 divided by negative 32 is? 3 is correct. All right, so let's try one more like this, and then you'll have 2 checks, and then we're done. And we're in here for another 17 minutes, so you should have like 10 minutes to yourself. And I was under the impression you all have computers with you right now, but apparently you do not. So
Mine's broken. It hasn't been given back to me yet.
that's unfortunate. I'm serious, I'm not joking about that. Negative 2q times 4q minus 9.
This is example 5.
Actually, this one was A and this one's B, so
Can
just,
you read it down?
yes, thank you, Landon, for asking me nicely.
I'm sorry, I didn't ask like nice.
No, you did ask nicely. Equals q times negative 8q plus 15, q as in quarterback, negative 3 times negative 4q minus 6.
Oh, this is a long one.
Yes, it is. But is it that difficult? We'll find out. What, Stormy? Hold on.
Nice catch.
All right, Stormy, that's it there. You got it? All right, once again, what do we start with? Perfect. Negative 2q times 4q. Negative 8q squared.
Yay.
Negative 2q times negative 9. Now, negative times a negative is a
Positive 18.
18. How about the q? Does it magically disappear? Nope, it's still there. Q times negative 8q. Perfect. Q times 15. 15q. Negative 3 times negative 4q.
Negative.
Now, a negative times a negative is a what, Landon? Positive q. Negative 3 times negative 6. Positive 18. What I would do from here is combine like terms on one side of the equal sign.
Yay.
All right, do I have any other squareds over here? Nope, so I'm just going to bring down, that's supposed to be an 8. I don't know what I just did there. 8q squared, that's hideous. All right, that's better. What is 15q plus 12q?
27Q.
Perfect. Now, if it was me, I would probably bring these two over here. Why? Just simply because there's less. That's all. So how do we get rid of a minus 8q squared?
Wait, add, yeah.
All right, I like that. And can I get rid of the 18q while we're at in the same step?
No,
Why not?
because that would make this equal anything.
Well, I have it 27q over here. Can I bring it over and combine it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just going to do it in one step. So now we have a 0 over here, correct? That's fine. So 0 equals, what's negative 8q squared plus 8q squared? 0. I like that. How about just our q's? 27 minus 18?
5 here. Or no.
Is it negative or positive?
Positive.
It's positive, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty positive it's positive. So that's going to be 9q. And does the 18 have anything to go with? So I'm just going to bring it down. All right. Now it's a two-step equation from there, correct? So minus 18 minus 18. Negative 18 equals 9q. The 9 is multiplying, so to get rid of it,
Divide.
and what's negative 18 divided by 9? So q equals negative 2. So there was a lot to it, but was it really difficult? No. All right, 2 checks left, and then we're done. So 2p equals 3 times 4p minus 10. And then the bottom one's kind of long, but it's not that difficult. The problem with the bottom one is I would get an answer and I'd be like, there's no way that's the answer, and then I would think I made a mistake. -2. Right there, -2.
Where's our checks?
It's, hold on, she wanted the answer to the last one. So it's back. Just gotta wait for the camera. It's a little slow. Does anyone want to go up to the whiteboard and actually solve either one of them? All right, Corey. When you're ready, go up and just write it on the board, not where the camera is or the projector is, on the board next to it. Mm-hmm.
Can I see the rest of the second?
Where's that a 0 to?
Oh, no, first check.
Okay.
There you go.
Got the double, son.
What's that? Well, let's see if it's right first.
Are you right, Corey?
Corey, what did you get for the first one?
I got that
T equals
too.
-3.
Is it negative or +3?
+3.
Okay, I like that better.
Wait, what you did?
All right, we're going to explain it right now. So, Corey, I assume what you did is that you dropped the 2p down, right?
Yep.
3 times 4p,
12p.
and then 3 times -10.
-30.
All right, so then what did you do?
I minus 12p.
I like that.
And then divide both sides.
So that gave you -10p equals -30. And then you divided by -10. -30 divided by -10 is, there you go, good job. Yes, yes.
Awesome sauce.
All right, let's do the last one together, then we're done for today. -3q times 2q is -6q squared. I'm almost done. -3q times 5 is -15q. 2 times -3q squared is -6q squared. 2 times 15 is 30. -5 times 10q is -50q. -5 times 6 is -30. Are there any like terms up there?
Many.
Okay. All right, so how do I get rid of a -6q? Okay. All right, what's -6 squared plus 6 squared? So it went away. So I'm just going to bring down the -15q. Can I combine the 30 and the -30? What's 30 minus 30? All right, how about the -50q? What do I do with that? With what? Something seems weird here compared to what they got for in the answer key. -3q times 2q plus 5 equals 2 times -3q plus 15 minus 5 times 10q times 6. Okay. All right, what do we do next? Okay, so add 50q. So then that gives me 35q equals 0. How do I get the 35 away from the q? Divide. Yes, sir. And now what's 0 divided by 35?
0.
All right, we are done. You have 5 minutes to yourselves.